Okay, we're going to look a little bit more at stream deposition, particularly floodplains. So make sure you are going to the study module and look at the stream terrace formation animation, and also the Mississippi Delta video. It's a little longer, but you know what? It's really good, and it'll show you how deposition works in terms of forming river deltas. And also check out the alluvial fan one, which is another way that material gets deposited. So check those out in the setting module or the canvas module, the module, and then let's look at floodplains. Now, basically, they are on either side of a stream channel, and they're formed by erosion, but this is the result of many, many years of flooding and deposition. And here's just, how it looks. So you see the stream valley here, and then the course of the river. Here's your Oxbow Lake and the cutoff right there. But the stream will meander back and forth, and when it overflows its banks, it will deposit sediment there. And then when the water evaporates, the sediment remains. So it's very good for agriculture, and that's why we see large population clusters in these river valleys. You can have natural levees that are the result of this depositional activity over years and years. And then, of course, humans increase the size of these to maintain, keep the river within its banks during times of increased water flow, increased discharge, to try and keep it from overflowing onto inhabited land. So again, you have those rich alluvial deposits, and it's great farming, but oftentimes, the amount of water that overflows the banks is a tremendous volume, and it results in this massive flooding. This is up in the city of Manitoba up here, and they basically have constructed a dike around the whole city to protect it in times of flooding. You can see the river right through there, but then it overflowed its banks and flooded the surrounding area. So again, agriculture, this is in Southeast Asia, but this is why the periods of flooding are so important, because they add this great soil, and it's very conducive to growing crops rapidly because the soil is so healthy. And a crop like rice, where you need lots of water, so you'll see these large population clusters down in river valleys, especially when they get close to the ocean in eastern China or in southeastern Asia, for example. So watch that the terraces video in the module, and it will show you again as the river moves back and forth. It's not always flowing in a straight line. It's going to meander back and forth, and as it cuts down into the valley and forms the valley, it will leave these terraces, always one on each side, so they're paired together. Now, other depositional features besides floodplains, you got your alluvial fans. We usually see these in arid or semi-arid environments, and we'll cover that in the next chapter when we look at oceans and arid environments. And these are always at the mouth of the canyon where the stream enters into this wider valley. And then the river deltas, of course, there are these very, very vast depositional plains forming the mouth of the river. That's why I wanted you to watch that Mississippi Delta one, and again, it's really interesting. It will show you how the delta forms in the various environments that are down there. Watch that video. Here's an alluvial fan. Again, see these often in the deserts. So when the desert does get precipitation, it's usually a lot very quickly, and it flows downhill, carries all that material with it, and then deposits it out, and you can see the fan chamber right there onto the plain. Heavier material is here, and then the lighter, looser material is down here. And again, usually you see these in arid or semi-arid environments. Here's the Nile Delta. So here's Cairo. And the Nile starts way, way back in Central Africa, and it's reached its base level, so it floods very often. But again, it's very rich in sediment, and it's great for growing agriculture, so you can see all the green. And it's estimated that about 90% of the population lives within 10 miles of the Nile River. And again, you're always adding sediment here, so this is gradually growing out into the deltas, growing out into the Mediterranean Sea there. Here's the Ganges River in Bangladesh. So this is the Himalaya Mountains. Cold air comes down, meets the warm air coming off the Indian Ocean, so we get our monsoons. A ton of rain, lots and lots of rain, very seasonal, and floods the Ganges, and it carries all that sediment coming down off the mountains and forms these deltas. But again, notice the agriculture that goes on here. You're going to get flooding, and it's kind of dangerous to live there, but you get very, very high crop yield because the soil is so rich. And of course, the Mississippi Delta is one of the most famous. And geologists and geographers have been able to track the locations of the previous deltas. Here's where it is now. And you can see, the river coming down. Here's New Orleans is over here. And the new material that's being added to the delta. And it will have its own unique environment, its own ecosystem. So watch those two videos in the study module, the Mississippi Delta one and the alluvial fan one. Now, I'm not going to really, don't want to spend too much time on the floods, but again, it's just when the water overflows its natural bank. And, you can see here again in the Ganges River, how much it's overflown, especially here in the areas, how it's over the water is flowed over its banks. And again, when the water evaporates, though, that alluvium is left behind, and it's great for agriculture. And so you often see a lot of human settlement in these deltas, especially here. So Bangladesh, your population density is like maybe 2,700 people per square mile, very, very high. And the same thing over here in Pakistan, where the Indus River runs into the Arabian Sea. Okay, so we'll stop here, and then I will cover urban flooding on the last part of our lecture, okay?